Blurbs and greetings. Look at this. We got a Quantex 486 computer. It says 486SX on the front, but it's actually a 486DX, kind of. I picked this up recently at the Southeast Game Exchange. And yeah, this was there at one of the more fascinating booths, I thought, in the back corner of the event. And yeah, it was put on by this local nonprofit, Save the Machine. Yesterday's technology, tomorrow's future. Nonprofit organization dedicated to making past and present technology accessible to all. Yeah, they're not too far from me, and I was happy to see that they had a display there where you could just look at all kinds of computers set up, hands-on, play games, you know, do LAN stuff. It was great. Had a lot of fun. Enjoyed meeting the folks there. And yeah, they had several different computers that were available for a suggested donation price. And this was one of them. And I was drawn to it for 3 reasons. One was just the form factor and the overall aesthetic of the thing. I mean, look at this. Desktop horizontal PCs are always enjoyable to get, but the fact that it has the nice vertical 3.5-inch floppy disk drive there, 3 5.25-inch bays like that, and then just all of the lines. So many lines. It fits these Altec Lansing speakers very well. It kind of just looks like a Ferrari Testarossa or a Ford Probe. But, you know, it's that kind of 90s look that I highly enjoy. And there, you know, is also the fact that it has the same kind of area up front here that my LGR wood grain 486 have. It's very similar looking. And in fact, when I was looking into who made this case, I believe they're both the same manufacturer, which is Pionex, as far as I know. Pionex. I believe the LGR wood grain 486 of mine and this Quantex 486 both have a case by Pionex. So that was the first reason. I just love the way that it looks, the overall, just visually looks great. And cosmetically, it's in pretty good condition too. That's another reason I got it, but you know, those sort of roll into the same reason. Yeah, the second reason was the Quantex name. I don't know. I've just always thought that was a fantastic brand name. They were nothing, you know, huge or special, but they did have a number of computers that they put out throughout the 90s that got some attention for being pretty well equipped and decent prices. And I've actually never seen this particular one in any photo. I can't find another single photo of this thing online. A lot of other Quantex things, in fact, the Save the Computer thing that they had at the show there, their table, booth, whatever, corner of the show, they had another Quantex, one of the later ones with a different logo on it. That one had like a big old red Q on it. I think this company was based in New Jersey, but I don't actually know. They were just one of the many different clone PC white box manufacturers back then. So that was the second reason. The third reason is because this was equipped with a Cyrix chip inside. 80 megahertz. I've benchmarked it a little bit, you know, and that's kind of what it seems to be, but I haven't actually checked and I haven't opened it yet. So we're going to do that in this video at some point. I don't know, whenever I stop rambling. And I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. It is very quiet. Yeah. The PC speaker is extremely unusually quiet. I don't know why. Maybe it only has one of those little piezo buzzers in there or something, or maybe the volume's turned down in some way. Like, I don't know. I don't often buy computers that are so well put together and configured just straight away. Like, it's already got a compact flash adapter in there. So, like, you know, here we've got, look at that, crap load of space and DOS. A compact flash adapter around back, so there's no internal hard drive. That's one reason it's so quiet. I don't think there's a fan either, and I mean the power supply fan is in there, but it's seriously, you can't hear it. You can hear my air conditioning coming through more than anything else. So yeah, there's some things I'm definitely going to do to it. For instance, this has a CDRW in here. Okay, I'm going to take that out and put a regular CD-ROM drive in there. And it also doesn't have a 5.25-inch drive, which to me, that's pretty important for a 486. So I got one of those, just pulled out of storage. It's a good old TX FD55 GFR. So that should be cool at some point. not going to do that today. Also needs a little more RAM, I think, because it's only got 8 megs, so that limits things somewhat. But yeah, another thing I thought was kind of amusing. Check this out. Oh yeah, it's a Diamond Stealth. This is a PCI system. How neat. I don't have too many 486 boards with, or you know, socket 3 boards with both ISA and PSI. PSI. Pounds per square inch inside. So yeah, it has PCI and ISA buses. So that's neat. But it has like the same like GUI BIOS and everything that my wood grain 486 has. Just a slightly later, better version of it. You know, the hardware inside here is better than my 486 across the board. Across the board, literally across the motherboard. The CPU is not, you know, RAM is more in the 486 and the graphics and whatever. So, you know, I just mean like the motherboard. But yeah, it's got like, you know, automatic IDE detection and large disk support. Look at that, 4 gigs. Heck yes. You know, you can if you want to partition it that way. But yeah, I've pretty much just like, yeah, I did a little bit of RAM optimization. I don't know if it has EDO RAM or FPM or what. But yeah, look, it's got all these controls. My wood grain 486 board doesn't have these because it actually doesn't have parallel or serial on board. It certainly doesn't have IDE or PCI on board. All those are cards. I haven't optimized a lot of this yet, but anyway. Got the cool color schemes. So there's that, there's that, there's that. So yeah, once I got this thing home and just kind of put it through its paces really quick, I started doing just a little bit of research to see if I could find anything more about it online. And so this is interesting. So it doesn't really have a model number. It's just Quantex 486SX, not much more than that information-wise on the case. But when you type that in, try it. Just try it yourself. Type in Quantex 486, put a space in your search engine of choice and see what it comes up with for the first recommended thing. I bet it's going to be Quantex 486DX with Windows 3.1. And I thought, that's weird. And I tried it on another search engine, same thing. I signed out and tried another profile, same thing. I'm like, why is that so specific? Why are so many people searching for Quantex 486DX with Windows 3.1? And well, it's Mark Zuckerberg's fault, apparently. So I guess he answered this question in 2018. My first computer was a ... Quantex 486DX with Windows 3.1. And I don't know why it's in this stupid like photo format instead of just plain text. Maybe it is plain. I don't know how Facebook works. I don't use Facebook, but anyway, it comes up with that, and then like a million articles and like books and random posts with that exact string, Quantex 486DX with Windows 3.1, and now that's like so many people searching or documenting what Zuck's first computer was, and apparently he says it was that. So I guess it was pretty much this, except this says 486SX. Either way, I've got one, and it does have a 486DX in there. It doesn't have Windows 3.1 on it yet. I'll probably stick it on there if I ever do a video about it on LGR. Just for that search engine optimization, man. I'm going to stick that straight up in the title. That's what it's going to be. I'm telling you right now. Run the bench, Mark. Let's go with a good old VGA bench. And we'll zoom out here. All right. And we are getting a grand total of 47.8. You know, not amazing, but it's not bad either. Anyway, yeah, I think on my wood grain 486 now, since I recently updated it to the overdrive 100 megahertz, I believe that's like 50 something. 52.5 is what it is currently on my wood grain 486 with the 100 megahertz. So I don't have any doubt whatsoever that this machine will be way faster than the wood grain 486 should I decide to, say, drop a Pentium overdrive in here or whatever. I'm intrigued to try out the Cyrix though, because I just don't use those too terribly often. So that's cool. Maybe I'll stick like an AM5X86 or a 686 from Cyrix or AMD. There's a lot of options. Things to try because it's a faster motherboard. The PCI bus and cool things going on. That gives me a lot more options for graphics cards as well. This doesn't have VLB. It's PCI and ISA only, so there's that. I don't think Quake runs, if I yeah, nope, doesn't. Only 3.7 megs of memory reported. So I'm going to be switching out the RAM entirely and sticking some, probably 16 megs of EDO RAM in there because it supports it, as far as I know. System information, let's just run that again because we can. I don't have the mouse enabled. 136, decent. All right, Cyrix /TI, interesting. CX486DX2 or 486DX4 in 2x clock mode. So yeah, internal bus speed of 40, that makes sense, multiplied by 2. Does have write back for L1. Again, that's better than my wood grain 46. That only supports write through for L1. Run the Doom bench. Yeah, I haven't actually tried Duke 3D yet, but you know, Doom runs pretty much like a 66 megahertz DX2, like a 486 from Intel. Or at least, you know, pretty similar results as I was getting with my own wood grain PC at those specs. Anyway, go ahead and skip ahead here to the results. Okay, 2134 game ticks, as expected, and 3127 real ticks. Okay. Yeah, we got 2418 for the real ticks on the wood grain 486. It's going to be awesome with more RAM and whatnot. And yeah, all kinds of PCI cards you can try and get. Let's stick a Voodoo in here if we want, right? Maybe? I don't know. I don't know. Might be able to stick a Voodoo 1 in here. At the moment, yeah, this is what I got installed. So I have Duke Nukem 1. Let me run that one, since I don't have Duke 3D. And you can just hear the PC speaker and how quiet it is. Oh, this is a version with Nukem spelled with an E, not the U. Yeah, listen how quiet that is. It's just like the quietest little PC speaker. It's so quiet. Now, I know that was kind of desirable at one point back in the day, but man, I like a boisterous, loud, obnoxious PC speaker. I want to be able to feel those beeps. At least nowadays. I know as a kid, I actually, oh man. My God, I believe we stuck like tape or like some tack over the little piezo beeper inside one of our computers at one point just to try to make it quieter. And if I was trying to play games, sneak out to the living room in the middle of the night or really early in the morning and don't want to wake anybody up, you'd, yeah. There was no way to like turn it off or whatever, so you'd have to either cover it up, like muffle it up. I remember sticking towels over the computer to make it quiet. So anyway, yeah, it was like a kind of a desirable thing, is what I'm trying to say. So I don't know if it's intentionally that quiet or if there's like something wrong. Either way, I want it louder, man. So I'm gonna stick an actual speaker. In fact, I'm sure I've got one right over here. Of course I do. I keep a ton of these things around. Yeah, like an actual just proper speaker. So as long as it's got a header somewhere inside, which it should, stick one of them bad boys in there and get some loud daggum sound. You get one of those and like put it up right against the case and it reverberates right through it. It's like, it's fantastic. Let's get out of here. So, oh yeah, sound card. So it's got a Sound Blaster Vibra 16. I don't know exactly what version of the DSP or whatever. I don't know what it's gonna. It's not the best of sound cards. I pretty much never use them because they're just a little iffy, but that's what it came with and that's fine. I'm happy that it's here and it's configured already. I might probably, I don't know, maybe I'll swap it out. Here's what it sounds like with Jill the Jungle. Okay, I'm definitely swapping it out because that sounds like we opened a portal to hell. Oh my. Okay, well, So I believe I will be swapping that out. Wasn't expecting that at all. I haven't actually tried Jill in here yet. Wow. Oh man, let's go back to something else. Okay, I believe I tried it with Epic Pinball and it was okay. Yeah, it's fine. So, mileage may vary when it comes to the Viper 16. Good lord. I mean, yeah, this sounds okay. It's not as crisp as it can sound with some other cards. And you will get these little like popping, clicking sounds. That's what I most remember being kind of crappy about the Vipers is like, well, noisy output for one thing. Not like what we heard earlier, but just like when everything's silent, you'll hear like a zzz, sort of just low buzzing. And then also the popping. We'll see if we get any popping here. Yeah, I already hear some of the popping. It's like little high-end clicks in between some of the samples being played, so. It's minor, but it's kind of always there on these cards. Still, you know, tolerable, I guess, if you have nothing else. Which I do, so yeah, I'm definitely replacing this. All right. Click. So that's that. You know, it's a pretty decently compatible thing. The does all the OPL sound that bad? That sounds okay. Yeah, that's fine. Arr. Almost died. Sure does take a while to adjust. Oh yeah, this is that monitor that I picked up in that same episode of Thrifts as this computer. It wasn't at the gaming expo, but it was at Goodwill. Picked it up specifically for some of my gateway systems from the early 2000s, but it pairs well with this Quantex. Oh my god. Hey, jerk. Nope. The fiery guy is gonna... That's what happens when you don't pick up any ammo in the first level. Anyway, so yeah, like, I don't hate the OPL. I don't even know what's on there. Like I said, I haven't checked the board, I haven't looked inside. You know what, screw it, we're gonna go ahead and do that. Let us look inside of the Quantex 486, whatever the heck. Okay. Check that out. Pretty small board relative to the size of the case. There's that lovely Cyrix chip just doing its thing. And what the heck? There's VLB in here. Oh my goodness. Yeah, because I saw this. I'm like, oh cool, we got like cache. It's like a coast cache on a stick module, but That is straight up VLB. So 3 PCI, 4 ISA slots, 1 with VLB, and it looks like the middle one is not shared. Those look to be distinct from each other. A lot of times in the later 46 boards with PCI, you'll end up with the middle one with PCI and ISA just kind of shared. It's either one card or the other because they're so close to each other. Those look, yeah, those are separate. That is really cool. And I immediately see in here, yeah, this looks like the turbo LED and switch headers. Probably. It's got the right colors for the wires. Yeah. There's a bunch of extra headers here, so I'm assuming turbo just wasn't plugged in at all. Alright, okay, so here's a legend for the front panel things. So it looks like turbo LED is J10, turbo switch is J12. Yeah, and neither of those are connected, so simple fix there. Awesome. Yeah, I figured I had a turbo header in there, but just not plugged in, so that's okay. Yeah, let's look at this Cyrix chip. Really love this green heatsink it's got going on. No fan, doesn't need it. Look at that, CX46DX280. So it actually does say 80 straight on there. That's pretty cool. That's really neat, man. These Cyrix chips have always intrigued me. I am happy to have a little system going here with something Cyrix related. And I've got a bunch of other Cyrix chips, socket 3 things, PGA168, that I'd like to try, but yeah, we'll leave this here for now. Yeah, so the L2 cache, I got a couple of chips right there for that, which is, what is it, 256? I don't believe this is a 512 board, but yeah, probably 256. 2 different types of SIM memory. Looks like there's 2 modules of 72-pin SIM here, and then 4 slots for 30-pin. That's neat. So we have options for memory. Yeah, gonna definitely swap that out with a couple of 72-pin EDRAM, like 8 meg sticks. I have some 60 nanosecond RAM that I pulled from my old Mac at one point, so I've still got that. It should work just fine. The PC, I don't know, it was good RAM. I just upgraded that Mac to I think 64 megs years ago, so I still had that lying around. Yeah, this is so cool. Really, really nice little system. Except for this stupid sound card. Definitely swapping that out. Intriguingly as well, I don't see... Well, let's get this out of here. I was going to say, because I noticed that the hard disk LED wasn't lighting up either. And a lot of times that is because if you have a compact flash adapter in there, you actually have to plug the front panel header, the little wire, into the adapter itself and not the motherboard. And indeed... that's what this is. Yeah. I like these adapters. The ones with the little PCI bracket in the back. It's got a little LED. I don't see these as often anymore. But yeah, there is that. There is no header to actually plug in the front panel. So, I'll probably just desolder that and stick a couple of pins in there and then that'll do it. Or maybe I can piggyback off the back here. I mean, I don't know. I don't really need the LED in the back. I want it on the front of the case, dang it. Let's take a look at this graphics video card thingy. So there's an S3 Vision 968, the 86C968. Diamond Stealth 1994-95. It's got a 1995 BIOS. It's pretty cool. Stealth 64 video RAM PCI. Here's the memory expansion slot. I believe that takes it up to 4 megs on these. Because I think these are 2 megs. Might be 1 and it doubles to 2. I don't remember. Obviously, there's so many other options that you can go with for this because PCI. Don't know which version of PCI it is. Maybe 2.0, 2.1. Either way, though, quite an enjoyable base of a computer to work with here. See what kind of floppy cable. Okay, so we do have, yeah, there we go. So I can just plug in the 5 1/4 inch floppy drive right there. So I don't have to swap the cable or anything. And then that'll go in below the CD-ROM somewhere. Power supply to the best tech, which is not the best tech, but hey, it works. 200 watts, huh? I was expecting 150, but 200 is cool. And there is an actual PC speaker in here. What in the world? It sounds so quiet. Look at that. And that's a proper speaker. It's just like it's not amplified or anything. Maybe there's a setting in here somewhere. Maybe it's, I don't know. I have to see about adjusting that because I want it louder. All right, so here is the speaker that was in here. It's so quiet. And here is one of my normal PC speakers. I typically put in things normally. Oh, that's more like it. That's so much better. So this is 8 ohms, 1/2 watt. And this other one is 8 ohms, 1/4 watt. So that'll slot right in the front there. And oh yeah. Give it just a little bit of reverberation. Who the heck makes this board? Alpina? Version 3.3B/F. I don't think that's actually like the model name. I don't see a model name. Okay. So Alpina might be a subsidiary or just an AKA of PC Chips, just one of their brands. PC Chips doesn't have necessarily the greatest reputation, but whatever. I mean, I like this board from what I've seen and used of it so far. It's got a lot of cool features for socket 3. Yeah, this is awesome. Oh man, all right. Well, I guess that's pretty much it for this blurb. Yeah, I don't think I've actually showed the rear of this yet, have I? Not like there's anything too crazy to see, but yeah, that goes in there. And then, look at this. It's got the same like type of sticker and everything, kind of the same, what is that, like finish. And just everything else, the edging is very close, pretty much identical to my wood grain 486. Again, because I think they're manufactured by the same company, Quantex. Oh man, this is fun. This is exciting. Thank you very much for watching, and thanks again to Save the Machine. Yeah, awesome machine that I'm glad is saved.